What do you know about Alex Bedfield? Alex Bedfield Lifestyle. Alex Bedfield is a successful YouTuber and journalist who previously worked at BBC Radio. And if you listen or watch videos on celebrity radio, you should know that he's the guy behind the channel. He's previously worked as a journalist and a comedian, which is the reason for the success of his YouTube channel and his huge following. He's made appearances on over 80 radio stations and is highly regarded as an entertainer, radio presenter, and journalist. Some of the most interesting things about his career include that he's been doing it for a number of years and has traveled far and wide as a result of his career. In 1997, when he started launching Radio 106 and being part of the founding crew, he moved to 98.4 Capital FM in Nairobi, Kenya. In January of 2004, where he presented the show called The Lunchtime Mega Telephone In. And between 2004 and 2010, he worked at 6 BBC radio stations. He also recorded functions for 3 years in Spain's Shoreline FM, and also in City Talk in Liverpool. When working in BBC radio leads, he presented in the mid-morning, Could 2010, and also appeared on Stay on BBC Look North, raising £120,000 for charity. In March 2011, he left BBC Radio Leeds, saying he wasn't a journalist, before moving to BBC Radio 2, where he was with Jimmy Savile. He's also worked as a contract writer since 2013, working for companies like Sunday Mirror, Solar on Sunday, Sunday Specific, and The Solar, among others. While several things have set his career apart and made this man quite successful, Alex Bedfield has also had a very interesting life. His career success aside, there was something controversial concerning him in the past. According to prosecutors, it's claimed that Alex Bedfield launched relentless online attacks against Jeremy Vine, and that these attacks included waves of unpleasant personal attacks on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook over 11 months. It's said that Bedfield stalked Vine. However, he has been cleared on 4 charges of stalking launched by BBC employees. But this wasn't the only thing that led him to be caught. There's more. And he's been charged in court a few other times. In June 2021, he was summoned to the Nottingham Magistrates Court, and though he was found guilty of stalking, he's yet to pay up expense fees due from November 2012. On July 29th, Bedfield was granted conditional bail, but he's yet to make appearances at the Nottingham Crown's courtroom. Alex Bedfield Biography. Alex Bedfield is a 42-year-old vlogger and former BBC radio star hailing from Mapperley, Nottinghamshire. He was born on January 14, 1980, in Nottinghamshire, England, in the UK. And he's British white. He's a Capricorn and considers himself a secular guy living in the Christian religion. He's a tall guy standing at 5 feet 8 inches and weighs about 70 kilograms. He's blonde with dark brown eyes. He no longer works in radio, but now works as a vlogger running a YouTube channel called The Voice of Reason. Little is known about his schooling because he's kept this part of his life completely private. He boasts a long professional career of over 20 years. Bedfield kicked his career in 1997 and started as one of the Radio 106 launch teams. From 2012, Bedfield has been working on producing content and presenting the content for the infamous channel Celebrity Radio. He's also known as a comedian and has over the years racked a huge following. He's worked for different media companies in the past. He began his career in radio in 2001 when he joined BBC Radio Leicester. Then between 2004 and 2010, he worked for radio stations like Touch FM, Mersha FM, BBC Bristol, BBC Hereford, BBC Radio Shropshire, and BBC Worcester. Then in 2006, he started working as a presenter for the popular Birmingham breakfast show called Capital Gold. However, he only worked there for 6 weeks before moving to London, where he took over the network's national late show, The Late Night Revolution. Then in December 2011, he made his debut on BBC Radio 2 alongside Jimmy Savile. Alex Bedfield is single and doesn't talk about his private life or relationships. Net worth. With over 364K subscribers, the Alex Bedfield Voice of Reason YouTube channel, formed in 2007, is a successful channel run by a renowned journalist who has worked for several BBC radio stations in and out of the UK. He's now worth at least $87,360. And he also earns from merchandise sales.